Okay, this is part 2 of my working with the Sleepy Hollow Tarot that I just got. And the spread that we are going to be working on is Ichabod's Guide. Now, it takes in these cards, and we're going to do the layout after I shuffle, and we're going to put these questions to the test so everyone can be thinking of, what am I trying to navigate? Whether you want to pull your own cards at the same time for whatever your favorite deck is, that could be a blast. And then show me how your layout turned out. So number 2 is going to be, what is distracting me? 3, what prevents me from seeing my way out? 4, the lantern, where can I draw hope to find my way out? 5, what must I address before I can move ahead with my purpose? And 6, once I've done that, what's the most useful next step? So I'm going to put this aside, and I got to keep it open so I can follow along. And, it might be fun. Pull your own deck out, whatever you want to work with, and maybe you have this one. And I'm just going to pause, shuffle the cards with the intention of navigating my way and using Ichabod as a guide. Okay, now as well, I have chosen charms to go with each of the questions. And it might be some fun for us if you could also pick some items that you could put in a bowl, any bowl at all, that would remind you of the questions. And maybe this would be like a Sleepy Hollow charm set that we're creating here. So my first one for the forest, the question, what am I trying to navigate? Well, I found a compass. And if it was coming up upside down, I would say there would be difficulties finding a path. But upright, definitely. Using your wits, your knowledge, and everything to move yourself forward. The key. Sometimes when we're navigating, it's opening doors. So I chose this one. And for the second one, the trees, what's distracting me? Sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees. This is going to be my symbol, and bring in a little bit of rootedness and confidence as I read the cards and explore what I'm personally trying to navigate. And when there's difficulty navigating, sometimes it's the moon card that can come up. That sort of insecure feeling. Maybe emotions are getting in the way instead of being grounded and logic. So that's that one. I guess I can be putting them in the bowl. Now, the next one, darkness. What prevents me from seeing my way out? It could be that I'm not being truthful. This could be like a mask, but it could also be the fox, that I need to sit quietly, that I need to watch and let things develop and then act. Because the fox can be very sly and sneaky, yes, but he waits and he bides his time. And then I also picked this little chain, because if you're looking at things that are restricting you, almost like the Devil card, what holds you back? What has control over you? When you're trying to find a way forward. And then the next one, the lantern. Where can I draw hope? I guess it's tapping into your guides and guardians and letting them whisper those thoughts to you or speak in your dreams. So I chose that one. Plus, I chose the eagle for being able to see a higher perspective and, stepping away a little bit, rising above those difficulties in order to find your way out. And for 5, what I must address before I can move ahead with my purpose? Well, I chose the owl because sometimes when we're moving ahead, wisdom certainly helps. And is it fair? Is it right? Have you weighed the pros and cons? And then the last one, once I've done that, what's the most useful step forward? So I got this little charm with a sandal. And that when you're wearing a sandal, it's that carefree attitude, that ease to take those steps forward. And they're light, so you're releasing some baggage. You're just taking your steps forward. And once you've done that, it's like going to school. This is a diploma. You graduate, you've learned, and now you put everything into action. So that's my new little charms for this. And I thought I'll do the layout and we'll just let a few cascade on top of the cards. So I have shuffled the cards and now I'm going to lay them out and adjust the camera. So let's do the camera first so that you can see the actual layout. Okay, some things might have to be scooched because of the room. So we're just asking, like in the book, the prompt here. So we're asking, yes, life can be hard to navigate. There are many twists and turns on our travels and many obstacles that can block or delay our journey. This spread helps us overcome the obstacles, find a way through, and like Ichabod, that's so hard for me to say, we're going to traverse through the dark forest on the way home and find our way. Okay, Ichabod. Let's go. So card number 1, the forest. 2, the trees. 3, the darkness. 4, the lantern. Yeah, that has to go like that. 4. 5, the guide. And 6, the trail. So yes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 cards. Correct. All right. So the first one, I'm going to have to scooch a little bit here, guys. Get everything so it's not quite according to the book visually, but we will make our way through. Okay, what am I trying to navigate? Well, I know what I'm trying to navigate, and this card is giving me some clue. When you think of the World card, you have accomplished some things, yes, but it's then now taking that out into the world and putting it, I guess, to use. When I think of the pictures that I'm seeing there, it's like the classroom. And the classroom is very much about lessons and learning. And, when you graduate, when you go out into the world, how are you going to use everything that you know? And that is a challenge right now. And that is the 21, which adds up to 3, which is growth. But let's check and see what they say with Ichabod. Okay, they suggest that the schoolhouse is a gateway to the world, symbolizing learning and progression, leading to new opportunities, achievements, and fulfillment. So know that, I guess, I have completed some things, but yet there's so much more to learn. And then to integrate what I have learned and, I guess, put it out there. Okay, very interesting. Then we go on to number 2, the trees. What is distracting me? Well, that is the King of Swords, and he's busy writing a book. And the King of Swords to me is truth, fairness, and getting to the point. And he's, as I say, he's writing. So we've had all these experiences here, or I have, and learning. And then I have to put it, I guess, out there in a truthful manner, which I would hope to be doing, and maybe organizing my thoughts. Because when you put something on paper, and I continually do that, is you're putting it to paper and in a way that will help you better understand, I guess, your focus and where you're going. So let's see what he says about the King of Swords. Okay, so now this we have to remember is what is distracting me. So the King of Swords says maybe that I don't have enough mental clarity and to really search a little bit more. And with the candlelight there might be some sleepless nights and that need to release and I guess have a plan. So out into the world with a plan, taking an idea that I'm working on, putting it to paper and making it seem sense, I guess making sense to me. And then the Queen of Cups, and I am very much a water sign. So that is neat to see. And let's see what he says about the cups. All right, so he talks about a witch offering you a concoction. And that upright, it would be compassionate, caring, stable, intuitive, and in the flow. So for me, I bring, I think, some logic and reasoning, but the depth for me is in feeling my way. It has to feel right to me. And I am very much on the intuitive, artistic, emotional side. And I guess it's bringing that into balance. It'll be interesting to see what charms fall there. And, well, that's kind of neat. There's a lot of flow behind her there. And she has her concoction, her brew. All right, well, we're going to go on to the next one. The lantern. Where can I draw hope to find my way out? So the Ten of Wands is sitting there, and that is a position 4. And finding my way out. Well, it looks to me that maybe I've taken on too much. Maybe I'm asking too much. And it's the burden of bringing everything and that clarity that I'm seeking. I have creativity, but I have to find focus. And I always tell people when you get the Ten of Wands, you can't do all these things. Pick one thing, and if you need to come back, you can come back. All the tools are there to get the job done. And tens are transformational. But in the book, he says, an uncut log remains a winter as winter quickly approaches. So there's something that I haven't quite completed yet with that one log left over. There's still something to focus on and use my intuition before I bring it out into the world. Okay, and it talks about burdens, extra responsibility, hard work, and completion. Yeah, there's something I haven't completed yet. So that is where I can draw hope in order to find my way out. And it's interesting when you find your way out of the forest, but this is already cleared. So there's something deeper there. But there's one little thing left to do. And that's interesting that the Lover's card is down there, but we're going to skip to number 5 here. What must I address before I can move ahead with my purpose? And that's the 3 of Tankards. So for me, it would be celebrating some of the accomplishments and those that have helped me accomplish what I need to do. So I'm just going to see what he says. Okay, so this one, friends sharing a drink of ale, celebration, friendship, creativity, and collaborations. So be thankful for all the things that I have accomplished and what I have learned. Focus on yet the one thing that needs to be accomplished. And use intuition as well as logic. But this one tells me, yes, be thankful. And it might be through collaborations that I can find my way forward. All right, and the last card, once I've done that, what's the most useful step forward? Well, lovers to me is, again, collaboration, but it's also choices. Making the right choice, the right decision. And that's the way to find my way forward. And with this person here in the background, it might be leaving something behind. Maybe I can't go back and finish this off. Maybe I just have to look at this and say, I can't do everything at this time, which would be paying attention. She can't pay attention. Really, she's got to decide between these two, which one is stolen her heart. And I have to look at what has stolen my heart. Where do my passions lie? And is it logical? And just to celebrate everything that I have accomplished and those that have supported me. So let's look to the Lover's card as to the next step forward. Okay. All right, so this is Ichabod and Katrina dancing at the Van Tassel Harvest Frolic. And their words are love, harmony, relationships, values, alignment, and choices. And isn't that true about in the world? So you've got two majors there. The one thing that's missing is a coin. Practicality, security, confidence. So once I've done whatever it is I need to do here, the most useful step forward is to make a choice or a decision. And when I think of the Lovers, it's balanced. There's strengths, there's weaknesses, like in the male or the female. And, I'm not saying that the female is weak, but we're using our intuition. And some men, yes, can be very intuitive. That's a whole other thing here. But when you step out on the floor and you're working with someone else, there has to be a flow. So I think I have yet to consider all these cards, decide where my heart lies, focus on that, and get into the flow. It has to feel right. This is really cool. Okay, I knew that spread was going to be interesting, but let's take the charms. And we'll just do there's not many here, so I've got my eyes closed. I'm picking some. All right, there we go. So what we've got is, there is a confusion here because this is the Moon card as the choice that I wish to make. So I'll have to sit with that. And this is upside down on the swords. So I'm still unsure on how to navigate. But once I get it, I need to be in the flow. It's got to feel right, and I've got to love it. Really nice spread. And see, the charms, you don't need many, but it is saying that you still have. And, the moon can be like your dreams as well. So if I can dream it into the world, if I can use affirmations and bring in a little bit of magic, like she's brewed this concoction here, and sit with it, focus on it, and then celebrate. That is great. I'm going to leave it right there. And if anyone has anything they want to add to it, that is the Sleepy Hollow Tarot. And that's the first spread that I've done through the book. And there is the love triangle one there. And there is the horseman's chase. And those are the questions there. I hope that's in focus. And it's interesting that they're putting the cards in that manner. But that's for another day. That was fun. The Sleepy Hollow Tarot.